Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a problem that's growing faster than most of us realize, right in our own homes and offices. We're talking about electronic waste in Nepal. And to get started, I've got a question for you. I know, it sounds like the beginning of a really weird joke, right? But the answer points to a massive hidden problem that's happening all around us. Any ideas? Okay, let's get to the number behind it all. And there you have it, 28,000 tons. That's how much electronic waste Nepal produces in just 1 year. To help you actually picture that, it's the same weight as 7,000 adult elephants. Just think about that for a second. A truly staggering amount of discarded tech. So let's unpack this idea of a tsunami of waste, because this isn't just a big problem, it's a growing one. And it's growing at a speed that is, frankly, pretty alarming. It really threatens to overwhelm us if we don't start paying attention. Okay, first things first, let's be super clear on what we're talking about when we say e-waste. It's basically anything with a plug or a battery that we've decided we don't need anymore. You know, that old phone in your drawer, the computer in the closet, even your old fridge. And get this, it is, by far, the fastest growing stream of waste on the entire planet. And this is exactly why we're calling it a tsunami. That 28,000 ton number isn't just sitting there. Here in Nepal, it's swelling by a massive 7% every single year. So this isn't some static problem. It's a wave that's building speed and power right in front of us. You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the human side of all this. We all love getting the newest phone, the latest gadget, but the moment it gets old or breaks, it becomes a hot potato. Nobody wants to be left responsible for it when the music stops. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This hot potato? Well, it's a classic double-edged sword, because hidden inside this mountain of junk, you'll find both incredible value and extreme danger, all mixed up together. So on one hand, e-waste is literally a treasure chest. It's packed with precious metals like gold, silver, and copper. In fact, globally, the value of all these recoverable materials was estimated at a whopping $91 billion in 2022. But on the other hand, it's a toxic cocktail. It contains over 1,000 harmful substances, things like lead, mercury, and cadmium that can seriously poison our environment. Let's make that danger feel a bit more real. Let's talk about lead. A single one of those old, bulky CRT monitors or TVs can have up to 4 pounds of lead inside it. 4 pounds! Lead is a powerful neurotoxin, and it's especially dangerous for kids, where it can cause permanent damage to a developing brain. And the danger doesn't stop with lead, not by a long shot. If you crack an LCD screen or an old fluorescent bulb, you release mercury vapor, which attacks the nervous system. Old batteries, they leak acid that seeps into our soil and our water. And the lithium batteries in all our modern gadgets, if those get crushed in a landfill, they can actually explode or catch fire. So we've got this stuff that's both valuable and incredibly dangerous. When we throw it away, it can go down two very, very different paths. And the path we choose has massive consequences for all of us. All right, this is the informal path, and unfortunately, it's the common one. To get a little bit of valuable copper, workers will literally burn piles of plastic-coated wires right out in the open, releasing these thick clouds of toxic smoke. To get rid of batteries, they might just crack them open and pour the acid right down a drain. It's fast, it's cheap, and it is absolutely destructive to people's health and the environment. But now, let's look at the scientific path. Organizations like Daco Recyclers are taking a completely different approach. They use a special machine called a bulb eater to safely trap all that toxic mercury gas from old light bulbs. They use a wire stripper that mechanically pulls the plastic off wires so they can get the copper without any fire or toxic fumes. And, crucially, their staff are fully protected with proper safety gear. So, a safer way to get rid of waste exists, which is great. But what if the real solution isn't just about better disposal? What if it's about creating less waste in the first place? And that brings us to the idea of a repair revolution. Really, it all boils down to this simple idea. The most eco-friendly product out there is the one you don't have to buy because you already have it. The absolute best way to solve a waste problem is to not create that waste to begin with. You see, when you choose to repair something instead of just replacing it, you set off this amazing ripple effect. It saves all the resources needed to build a new device, and it stops the pollution that comes from manufacturing. It helps build what's called a circular economy, where we keep valuable materials in use by refurbishing and reusing them instead of just sending them to a landfill. Now, this isn't a problem that we can just leave for the government or some big companies to solve by themselves. This is on all of us. It's our shared responsibility. And the solution really requires all of us to make more conscious choices and to take action. So what can you actually do? It breaks down into 3 clear actions. First, recycle responsibly. Don't just toss your e-waste in the bin. Collect it and call a professional service that can handle it safely. Second, choose to repair. Before you rush out to buy something new, just see if your old device can be fixed. And third, advocate for change. Support policies that push manufacturers to be responsible for their products from beginning to end. Ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. That old phone, that old laptop, is it a treasure just waiting to be recovered? Or is it a poison that's about to be unleashed into our environment? Is it a trove of valuable resources we can safely reuse? Or is it a toxic time bomb we're leaving for the next generation? The choice is ours.